Hi, my name is Ashley. For those of you who don't know me, which is probably a few of you, eventually, as this gets ranked up by more than just my friends. Um, so I read this thing tonight about how a candle blooms in darkness with a line, and it got me thinking. Well, I recently read another book, or listened to an audio anyway, called Women Who Run with the Wolves, and it's how stories can impact us and change us, and stories really, they help our lives. Um, so anyway, this might sound dumb, but I want to tell you a story. It's about a candle, and while flowers, they're given sunlight and warmth, and they bloom in the summer, a candle has to bloom in the dark and in the cold. And some of us, our lives are dark and our lives are cold. Um, for those of you who've read my blog, you've seen a little bit of this in my life. I don't want to go into details on this, but anyway, so for those of you out there who are in the dark, who are in the cold, this is for you. So the candle was in the dark and it was in the cold, and it was born that way because that's how candles are born. But the wax, the parts that made it before it ever was, its spirit, it remembered the sun. The wax remembered the flowers, and it remembered the summer, and it dreamed about it. And the candle sought the spark within inside itself. The candle sought heat. The candle sought light. And it remembered every single beautiful thing that it had ever experienced. And it began to bloom in the darkness. Now, every single day, we only have so many energy points to spend. We can spend our energy on worrying and stressing out or feeling guilty and feeling like we should do this or we should do that. And we get very frustrated, time consumed, and going crazy and pulling our hair out. We can do that. Or, sorry, I'm going to change volume on you so I don't sound like I have a lisp. I recorded a video at full volume and apparently it made me lisp, so probably lisping in back there due to the audio problems. But anyway, so if you only have, say, 10 energy points a day, are you going to spend 2 on worrying, 5 on being afraid, 6 on, just thinking about what you should be doing, and then you're exhausted? And you force yourself to go through the motions anyway, but that doesn't inspire creativity. That doesn't help you get to where you want to go. So if you want to go from point A to point B, and you're headed in this direction, where are you going to spend your energy points? And if you're in the dark, and if you're in the cold, you need to seek out the light. Find good things. Like, I used to be depressed, and I would read depressive poetry and do all the whole teenage angst thing, listen to, music that made me more upset and more depressed because it related to me and I was getting my emotions out. But it didn't make me happy. So now when I'm upset, I go and I read all these funny one-liners, or I look on Facebook at, funny pictures, or, all these different pages that I like that have funny things, and it tends to cheer me up quite a bit. And then I'll move on to more motivational things and more inspirational thoughts and read good books and stuff. And that's me seeking out the light for my own spark. Because sometimes I deal with depression. Not sometimes, but all the time. And so sometimes I'm in the dark and I don't have the light inside me. I'm not sparked. I'm not awake. I'm not aware. So I have to seek out the light. I have to seek out the warmth. I have to seek out good things in my life in order to get to where I want to go. And for everybody out there, it's the same for you. Some of us have an inner light, and for those of you, that's awesome. I know we all have it, but some of us don't see it. And for those of you who just don't feel that spark inside yourself, there are several ways to get it. You can connect to God or some type of creator, spirit, some type of divine entity, whatever you want to call it. It's not really important what you call it. All that is important is that you reach out to it and feel like there is a divine something out there that understands you and supports you and lifts you up. Others of you, you'll read self-help and self-development, and these are amazing tools. I cannot tell you how much they've helped me. And I've also sought out medical attention. I used to be completely anti-antidepressants. I used to think that they were evil. I thought that they made Stepford people out of all of us. We walked around like zombies, in this like haze of medication. My best friend died. I was raped and drugged. I had been dealing with something like a stalker for a year and 3 months. My life hadn't been easy. I was all sorts of messed up. And finally, at the end, I was sitting on this couch and I just had no energy to do anything. And I'd been like this for months. I was just in this horrific catatonic depression. It was just awful. I just could not see the light. My dad had fallen 70 feet and broken every bone in his body, along with a few other family tragedies. I'd been in a car accident. I had no car. I was, had no job to go to. I was basically living on fumes, and I just didn't care. I had no energy to even worry about that because I was in such a state of grief and heartache, and I just couldn't see rebuilding again. My dreams have been smashed to smithereens by this casting director who spread a ton of lies about me, and a few other things that I just don't want to go into. But anyway, I finally decided to go seek help. I decided to go seek medical, pharmaceutical help. And I started off on Prozac, and now I'm on a natural supplement called 5-HTP. Now, if you are in the dark and things are so low, like even when you read inspiring things, you don't feel anything, that's when you need to go get help. Sometimes even before then. And getting help isn't easy. It takes a strong person to go and say, I don't have my spark anymore. I don't have my sunshine anymore. I'm in the dark, and I can't even remember what the sun feels like. So don't be afraid. It's okay to go get help. It's okay to seek natural means first. I use 5-HTP, and occasionally I also use SAMe. They're two different supplements. 5-HTP is more of my daily basis one, and SAMe is when I get a different type of depression. They help me move and exercise and have fun and be the person that I want to be. I don't walk around in this medicated zombie haze. I walk around in a place where I am able to expel enough darkness to give myself space to be who I want to be. I become empty of the negativity, to fill myself up with something new. And I've chosen to do positive things because I have so many positive people around me. Melissa Connect, Tracy Walker, Nicole Cooper, these are fabulous ladies in my life, and Jessica Rush is probably one of the most caring people I know. And there are so many more that I just can't even, but they've taken time out for me to give me love, and Lisa Grossman, and there are so many people, so many beautiful people in my life, and because they think I deserve it, I think I deserve it. And I want to tell you that you deserve it. You deserve to be happy. And if you're not happy, then it's time to change something. It's time to figure out your life. Time to figure out, will living in Florida make me happy? My mom, she hates the snow. She lived her entire life in a place where it snows. And she hated it. And I keep asking her, where do you want to live? Where do you want to live? We'll figure it out. We'll get you moved down there. But she can't make a decision. She is having the hardest time just deciding, yeah, let's go here, because she's so afraid. She's been so hurt. I think she's getting over it. She's getting stronger day by day, little by little. But as you decide that you're going to make your courage and your heart and your wants and your dreams bigger than your fear, and you want them more than you want fear, you'll learn to start letting go. So whatever you need to do to let go of your fear, because fear is huge, it consumes everything. It's a hungry mom. It's the monster under the bed, you know. I mean, it isn't that there's an actual physical monster under the bed. It's in our minds. And that monster under the bed will keep us from getting a drink of water or from going to the bathroom when we need to when we're kids. And fear. Excuse me, I need some water. Fear when we're adults keeps us from succeeding. It keeps us low. It makes us feel like failures. And we're not. Not one of us was put on this earth to be a failure. That is not your purpose. Your purpose is not to be a failure. Your purpose is to be a dreamer. A dreamer who builds foundations underneath castles in the sky. And you build these castles in the skies, and then you put foundations under them, and you climb up, and you live in castles in the sky. You are meant to live in your castles in the sky. You're not supposed to bring them down to the ground and think, oh, this is good enough. I'm satisfied here. You're meant to build them up as high as you possibly can imagine and beyond. Our journey here is to reach the stars, whatever your personal stars are, whatever your personal solar system is. So I want you to think about, what do you really want? What's in your heart? Get a clear vision of it. And I talked about this in an earlier video, but the clearer your vision, the larger your motivation. So visualize very clearly what your star is, what your solar system is, what success means to you, and what the results are to know that you're getting success. And that's really important. A lot of times we don't think about the results that let us know that we're on the right track. We only think about the end thing, and that just seems so far away sometimes, so far away. So if you're having that issue, I want you to think about, what are the small things that let you know you're on the right track, that you're having success. So if it is suddenly listening to a positive music instead of a sad song, that might just be one huge success for you. I know that at a time in my life, that was a huge success for me, was to just listen to a positive song and to feel something and let it impact me and impact my life. So go out and seek the light. Light up your candle. Bloom in your darkness. Know that you are wonderful. And if you're a flower who had everything given to you and yet you feel like you're withering inside and you're decaying inside, because I know there are those out there too. I have a friend who messaged me about how she feels like she's, this horrific creature in this beautiful place, and everybody else there are these beautiful creatures, and she's just bleh. So I don't want to share her personal thing, but she made me realize how much tougher sometimes it can be for you. It can be tougher because you can't identify, this is why I feel that way. This is it. I feel this way because this happened to me, because my parents don't love me, or whatever crap we go through. We all go through different crap. So if you're one of those who isn't finding your own nourishment, even though everything is nourishing around you, think about your roots. These are the things that connect you. If your roots aren't strong, if you're not connected to your life, because sometimes adversity really connects us in. The rocks and the things that we have to grow around, they really connect us. So like when you pull out a tree, sometimes it'll come out with a ton of rocks inside of its roots because it's grown around them and it's become hard. And those rocks have anchored it in. Those hard things have anchored it into its life, and and it's very connected. Some of us, we've had it too easy, and so we're not connected. So I want you to think about the things that connect you, and whether it's your children, your friends, or whether it's your accomplishments, your job, find what connects you. Find what connects you. Get into your roots, because they are what is going to soak up and drink in the nutrients that feed your soul and help you to bloom again. And sometimes it requires letting go of a lot of things that just don't mean anything to you anymore. Releasing those petals so you can grow even more beautiful ones. A fuller blossom. A blossom that's more fragrant and full and that's more vivid and brightly colored. I did an experiment one time in a science class where I took these white tulips and I put them in water. And then I had a control one, which I didn't add any food coloring to, and then I had one where I just enjoyed, and one where I just added one single food coloring. And as the food coloring would come up the veins, I would get to make it rainbow colored. I would see the red go up to the top. I would see the blue come down. It would change into purple. It would, I would change the flower each day, and I could see where the water from each day went in the flower. And it was a really cool experiment. But sometimes our water is getting bland, and our petals are just not bright anymore. They're not colorful. They're just kind of pale and waning away, and they don't have any sustenance in them anymore. And it's okay to let those petals fall away, whether it's the designer handbags that you don't need anymore and you give them to a good cause, or the long hair that you shave off for locks of love. Find the things that you need to get rid of to reinvent yourself into somebody who is connected to the things you are now, because you've gone through a rebirth. And sometimes we have to die a bit. Sometimes we do have to wither in our ground and become something new. Sometimes that means dyeing our hair and doing fun things, and sometimes it means doing really, really hard things. I don't know what yours is, but you probably do. You can probably feel it as I'm talking to you inside your heart. If you just close your eyes and take a breath and ask yourself what it is that you need to do to connect now deeply into your life, to create that change that you want, that magic thing. You will just anchor down in, deep into your roots, into your heart, and you'll ask yourself, and you'll discover what it is you need. Now, this is just some coaching that I'm putting online for anybody to look at. If you'd like to contact me about overcoming any specific problem, you can find me on Facebook or on Google+. I really wish you the best, and I hope you're doing good. Have a great day, and I'm Ashley Needles. I look forward to connecting with you. Thank you.